things are coming today, November 21st, 2022. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Also ahead this morning, good news when it comes to that pain at the pump as gas prices continue to fall. We'll get to your Storm Tracker 2 forecast in just a second, but first, you may want to grab your shovels. That's right, check this out right here. This is a fresh coating of snow on the ground. It looked like this most of the overnight. This was shot last night right here on Grace Road in Deerfield, heading up to our station here at the top of Smith Hill. The snow was coming down so fast, plows couldn't keep up with it. While we saw nothing like the folks in Buffalo and Watertown have seen over the past few days, we still saw enough to make it a bit of a nuisance. The question now, is it over?
Yes, so at this point we are drying out this morning and we will be dry through Thanksgiving, which is good for travel.
Yeah, so it's behind us.
Yes, it is behind us. So let's take a look now at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point we can see no new snow bands forming over Lake Ontario. That's where we did get the snow yesterday. It was lake effect snow from Lake Ontario. This morning we just see a few light snow showers still kind of lingering around, but it is not going to be heavy and it does look to come to an end for dry conditions today. Just seeing a little bit extra cloud cover. Here are some reports that I did get this morning from train spotters and sky watchers. The most report I got was Westdale 18 inches. We had Holland Patton at 8 inches, Whitesboro, Old Forge 7.5, and up here on top of Smith Hill we had 5 inches of snowfall. So we did see some snowfall, especially for northwestern part of Oneida County, northern part of Oneida County yesterday. But once again, we are going to be dry. So the snow looks to come to an end this morning. I would just be careful when driving over untreated surfaces. They may have become icy last night because we were just waking up in the teens this morning. We still are going to be cold, breezy today. It is going to be mostly cloudy, high temperatures just in the 30s, feeling about 10 degrees cooler. And once we head into tomorrow through Thursday, Friday, our high temperatures will return back into the 40s. So it actually is going to get a lot warmer and it will remain dry. So travel shouldn't be a problem on either Wednesday or Thursday. As for today, once again, more clouds and sun. It's going to be breezy, so feeling about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature. And I will be talking a little bit more about this upcoming holiday week coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. Let's get right to it now. A Utica area.
Welcome back. Just be careful when commuting this morning. Some areas were left untreated or there is still some snow on the roadways in some areas. So that can cause some ice because we are, most of us, in the teens this morning. We fell into the teens last night. Definitely could turn icy this morning. And just be careful when heading out the door, sidewalks, anything like that may be a little bit icy. As for today, we will reach the mid to upper 30s for the high temperature, but it is going to be breezy. So it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature. So for this afternoon, although we will be seeing a high temperature around 37, 38, it's going to feel like the upper 20s, even just around 30 degrees. But looking ahead, we will really warm up this week. We will be seeing high temperatures in the 40s for most of this week. And for Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, it does look dry. In the morning, temperatures will be just around 30, and in the mid 40s in the afternoon. It is going to be mostly cloudy, but the good news is that it is going to be dry. Gary.
Hannah, thank you. The Zaira Shriners annual.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. Snow looks to come to an end this morning, and we will be dry for today through Thanksgiving. So let's take a look now at the Cavie Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. We are going to wake up with mostly cloudy skies this morning, and today looks to remain mostly cloudy, and it is going to be on the cooler side. So we will reach the upper 30s, but with the wind, it's going to feel about 10 degrees cooler heading outside. So this morning, definitely grab the ice scraper and brush. A lot of us did see snow overnight last night, and we did fall into the teens last night and this morning. So a lot of stuff did ice over that went untreated, so be careful of that. Definitely the coat, hat, and gloves, very, very cold to start this morning. Snow boots, most of us did see so, and maybe a little bit extra time to get into work. Some areas are still a little bit icy and slushy, and there are still some areas with snow on the roadways. So as you're heading out the door this morning, most of the major highways are fine. It's just going to be in neighborhoods that could be seeing some problems, icy spots and slippery spots, as well as still some snow-covered roads. In the evening, though, we should be fine. just black ice is possible as our temperature does start to drop and any wet surfaces go untreated could turn into some black ice. But this morning we are tracking just a few light snow showers still lingering through on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. But looking over at Lake Ontario, no new snow bands are forming, so it does look like we are going to dry out today. It is just going to be breezy coming out of the south, and that is going to make it feel a little bit cooler. So this week, though, we really do start to warm up to above average temperatures. So starting tomorrow, we will be seeing high temperatures in the 40s, and by Thursday, Thanksgiving, and on Friday, we will already be in the upper 40s for the high temperatures. So really is going to warm up, and our next chance of precipitation is on Friday, but at this point, it does look like it is going to be rain. So looking ahead at our skycast for today, we will reach the upper 30s for the high temperatures. So just around noon, we will already be in the mid 30s. It's still going to be breezy though, and we will continue to see more clouds than sun today. For the evening commute, still in the mid 30s at this time, but just be careful when driving over areas of untreated surfaces. And by dinner time, we will still be in the mid 30s. Tonight, a few snow flurries are actually possible overnight, but at this point, still looking mostly dry, with mostly cloudy skies coming in for the day tomorrow. In the mid 30s by noon once again tomorrow, and in the low 40s for the high temperature later in the day. As we head into Wednesday, it's a big travel day for Thanksgiving. We are going to be dry for the whole day. So we start out with temperatures in the upper 20s in the morning, and just around noon already in the low 40s for some of us, seeing mostly cloudy skies. And for the evening, we will continue to see mostly cloudy skies, but a good dry day to travel on Wednesday. So for today, expect more clouds than sun. It is going to be cold and breezy, feeling about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature. A few snow flurries are possible overnight, but it looks warmer than last night with lows in the 20s. So we will be dry through Thursday, gradually warming up towards Thanksgiving. Our next chance for some precipitation looks to be Friday afternoon with some rain, and that continues on Saturday, Gary.
That's a nice looking turkey.
Yes, it is. A nice looking 7-day too, because it looks warmer, which is
And
good.
nice travel days ahead. Hannah, thanks. The time now is 5:22. Joining us for this half hour, I'm Gary Libator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And quite a tricky travel for us overnight. The morning commute doesn't look too bad because most of the plows have gotten out.
Yes, so a lot of the stuff is plowed. The highways are fine. It's just neighborhoods that are going to be a problem because you could be seeing some icy spots and some areas that did go untreated.
Yeah, plenty of snow in some areas.
Yes, so we have 5 inches up here on top of Smith Hill, and a lot of areas almost got 2 feet of snow.
Wow.
So let's take a look now at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, we are starting to dry out. Snow will come to an end this morning as we can take a look over Lake Ontario. No new lake effect snow bands are forming. So we will be dry today, seeing a little extra cloud cover, but it is going to be cold and breezy. Here's a look at some of the updated snowfall totals that I received this morning from either Skywatchers or trained spotters. 18 inches of snow fell in Westdale. So the heaviest of this band did fall in northwestern Oneida County. Holland Patton got 8 inches, Whitesboro, Old Forge 7.5, and up here on top of Smith Hill in Utica, we did get 5 inches of snowfall. So some areas in that northwestern part of Oneida County did receive almost 2 feet of snow yesterday. Snow does come to an end this morning. We are going to be dry, but still breezy and cold today. It's going to feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature. And this week, we will really warm up. We will return to the 40s, reaching the upper 40s by the end of the week. So for today, expect a little bit of sunshine. Highs are going to be in the mid 30s, but it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler. And today we'll be talking a little bit more about the weather this upcoming holiday week coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Well, as Hannah mentioned, the lake effect storm system that blew through the Mohawk Valley and pummeled parts of the area with snow is moving out, but it left a lot of us with some decent piles of snow to clean up today. News Channel 2's Ben Kinney was out in the worst of it on Sunday to see what it was like. He has this report for us this morning.
It started out around 11:30 this morning. The first band of lake effect snow dropped just a dusting on area roads. This was the view on the north-south arterial highway just after the snow had started. By early afternoon, visibility was reduced to near zero. And then, just as soon as it started, it stopped for a short time before returning with a vengeance. This was the scene on Route 12 in Barneveld by 3 o'clock. Route 12 completely snow-covered. The heavy snow and high winds led to multiple accidents. 2 people had to be cut out of this car after it rolled into a telephone pole on Oneida Street in Utica just after 4:30. The extent of their injuries is not known. Traffic on Route 8 was brought to a halt for hours just outside of Coldbrook in Herkimer County after a tractor-trailer jackknifed. The Herkimer County 911 Center issuing a statement saying, if you don't have to travel, don't be on the roads.
News Channel 2's Ben Kinney reporting for us from yesterday. Well, a brand new event to help raise awareness.
Welcome back. Here's some updated snow totals I did receive this morning from train spotters and sky watchers. We have Westdale at 18 inches, so it does look like the northwestern part of Oneida County did receive the most amount of snow in this lake effect snow event. Holland Patton at 8 inches, Old Forge, White Sparrow at 7.5, and up here on top of Smith Hill and Utica, we did get 5 inches of snow from yesterday and last night. So if you are going to be commuting anywhere, just this morning, I would be very careful. There are going to be some icy spots, so some snowy spots as well. By the afternoon, still a little bit careful. I would be just in areas of black ice, icy spots, and same thing for tonight. As for tomorrow, though, we do still remain dry. We actually remain dry through Thanksgiving, and we are going to be getting warmer, so we will reach the 40s tomorrow, and we will continue to rise in temperature, reaching the upper 40s by Thanksgiving. So here's a look now at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Still seeing some areas of lake effect snow moving through, but no new bands are forming over Lake Ontario, so it does look like once this all clears out, it will come to an end today. Gary.
Thank you. Pfizer's COVID-19 bivalent.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are waking up with still a few light snow showers lingering this morning, but we will dry out today. We will remain dry through Thanksgiving. So let's take a look now at the CAVI tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. We are going to be seeing some peaks of sunshine today, but more clouds than sun. It will remain in the 30s, and it's going to feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature because it remains breezy. So heading out the door, I would definitely grab the ice scraper and the brush. Definitely waking up to some snow on the car windshield this morning, along with the coat, the hat, the gloves. Very, very chilly to start. All of us are in the teens. Maybe your snow boots as well, and giving yourself a little extra time to drive into wherever you are going because some spots did go untreated. The highways at this point look fine, but it's going to be neighborhoods that are going to be a problem because we could be seeing some icy spots, some black ice, and still some roads covered with some snow. By the evening, icy spots are still possible, but everything should be cleared up by then, especially from the snow. And we do look to remain dry through Thursday, gradually getting warmer. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar this morning, tracking just a few areas of light snow showers, but looking at Lake Ontario, no new bands are forming over the lake. So after this moves through, we will be done for the next couple of days, and we are just going to be breezy today coming from the south, so it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature outside. But the good news is, if you do like warmer weather, we are looking to really warm up heading into the end of the week. Tomorrow we will be back in the low 40s and then heading into the upper 40s by Thanksgiving and on Friday. So our next chance for precipitation does look to be later in the day on Friday, but at this point, since it is warm, it does look to be rain. So for today on our Skycast, we will start out in the teens. We will reach the mid-30s around lunchtime. At this point, seeing some sunshine, just a little bit breezy today. And by the evening commute, just be careful when driving over areas of some snow, maybe some icy spots still. At this point, we are mostly cloudy, temperatures in the upper 30s. Around dinner time, we will be back into the mid-30s, and tonight we will be mostly cloudy. A few snow flurries are actually possible overnight, but still looking mostly dry, starting out in the upper 20s tomorrow morning. So tomorrow will remain mostly cloudy. Temperatures will reach the mid-70s by noon once again, and we will be in the low 40s for the high temperature. So for the evening commute tomorrow, everything should be cleared out at that point. Tomorrow overnight into Wednesday, we will drop into the 20s, and Wednesday is a big travel day for Thanksgiving, so at this point it is looking fine. We are just going to be seeing a little bit extra cloud cover. Temperatures in the mid-40s for the high temperature, and it is going to remain dry, so a nice travel day on Wednesday. So for today, expect a little bit extra cloud cover, remaining breezy, feeling about 10 degrees cooler. As for tonight, a few snow flurries are possible overnight. But the good news is that we do remain dry through Thanksgiving. We gradually start to warm up as well, with our next chance of rain being Friday later in the day. We'll be right back.
22. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And we will get to the Storm Tracker 2 forecast in just a minute, but let's check out this video that was shot overnight right here in Deerfield on Grace Road, coming up to our station here. This is what it was like not too long ago, but things are quieting down. Now the question is, will it quiet down for the rest of the day?
Yes, so it does look to dry out today, and we remain dry through Thanksgiving. We will also get warmer too, so shouldn't be any commute issues for especially the holiday.
Yeah, good news for travelers.
Yes, definitely for me too. I'm going to Philadelphia,
Yeah.
so I should be fine for that.
Be careful.
Yes, so let's take a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point this morning, we're still just tracking a few lingering snow showers, but it is moving up into the northeast. And if we look at Lake Ontario, new bands are forming over Lake Ontario. So at this point, once this clears out, we are going to be dry today. But here's a look at some of the updated snowfall totals I received this morning from train spotters and sky watchers. We have Westdale at the most 18 inches, Holland Patton at 8 inches, Whitesboro, Old Forge 7.5. Up here on top of Smith Hill, we did have 5 inches of snowfall. It does look like the heaviest of snow did fall into northern Oneida County, specifically northwestern Oneida County. So as you're heading out the door this morning, I would just be careful for icy spots because we are very, very chilly. Look at our Skywatcher reports. We have just 12 degrees in Old Forge, 19 degrees in New Hartford, and looking to the south, we have 15 degrees in Cooperstown, Edmiston, 17 degrees in West Lawrence. So any areas that did go untreated last night could be iced over, so just be careful of some black ice this morning. Before the rest of the day, we will warm up to the upper 30s, see some sunshine, but it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler with windy conditions. And I will be talking a little bit more about the holiday week forecast coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Let's get right to it now. A Utica area.
Welcome back. Just be careful when driving this morning. There are still some areas of snow on the roadways, as well as black ice is possible. Any untreated areas are going to become a little bit icy this morning because we are in the teens last night and we are in the teens here this morning. So today we will reach the upper 30s for the high temperature this afternoon, but it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler. So even though we will reach 38 degrees, it says in the afternoon, it's going to feel like 29 degrees. So make sure you bundle up today. It's going to be pretty chilly. But looking ahead to Thanksgiving, we will gradually start to warm up this week. On Thanksgiving, we will be seeing temperatures right near 30 in the morning. A little bit extra cloud cover though on Thanksgiving, and the high temperature on Thanksgiving looks to be in the upper 40s. So we are going to be above average for the end of the week and towards Thanksgiving, so there shouldn't be any travel issues. Gary.
Hannah, thank you. The Zaira Shriners annual Festival of Trees.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out with a few light snow showers this morning, but we will dry out today, and we are going to be on the cooler side. So let's take a look now at the Cavie Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. We are going to be seeing a little bit extra cloud cover today, but it's still a few peaks of sunshine as possible. Very cold to start this morning. We are in the teens. We will reach the mid-30s today. So heading out the door this morning, definitely grab the ice scraper and the brush. A lot of snow on the car windshields to start, and definitely just be careful when driving in this morning. Still some snowy roadways, especially in neighborhoods rather than highways, and we could be seeing some icy spots because of how cold it is. Definitely grab the coat, hat, gloves. We are most of us in the teens this morning, and your snow boots because we did see some snow yesterday and last night. So once again, heading out the door, be careful for icy spots, slippery spots, roads that are untreated, probably still snowy in some areas, and ice over top of that is possible because we were in the teens last night. We are in the teens this morning, and this is specifically going to be in neighborhoods. Most of the highways when I were driving in were fine. In the evening, icy spots are still possible, but at this point, we should be all cleared out, dry, because temperatures today are going to reach above freezing. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, we see this last little bit of snow continuing to move out. Looking over Lake Ontario, no new bands are forming, so it does look like once this does move out, we will be dry and clear for the rest of today. It is just going to be on the cooler side with a stronger wind coming out of the south, and that will make it feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature. But we are going to get better and really start to warm up this week. By Thursday, Thanksgiving, we will be in the upper 40s for the high temperature, and we we will remain in the 40s into the weekend as well. Our next chance for precipitation does look to be on Friday, but since we are in the upper 40s, it looks to be rain at this time. So on our skycast for the rest of today, we start out in the teens. We will reach the mid-30s by lunchtime and in the upper 30s for the evening commute. So the evening commute should be fine. Just be careful for some icy, maybe even some slushy spots. Tonight, a few snow flurries are possible overnight, but we do look mostly dry and we look to remain dry for tomorrow, seeing a little bit extra cloud cover right near 40 at noon and in the low 40s for the high temperature. So I know Wednesday's a big travel day, so I am going to show on the skycast here. We start out just in around 30 degrees Wednesday morning. At noon, we will already be right near 40 degrees, and for the afternoon, we will reach the low 40s, and on Wednesday, we do remain dry. More clouds and sun, but a nice travel day because it is still going to be dry. So for the rest of today, a few peaks of sunshine are possible, but it is going to be very cold, feeling about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature, and a few snow flurries are possible overnight. So for today through Thursday, we are going to be dry, gradually warming up as well. Our next chance for rain looks to be Friday afternoon, but it's rain, it's not snow, Gary.
And great news for you travelers, right?
Yes, I am driving to Philly on Wednesday, so it should be fine for that. It should be fine around here for traveling.
Yeah, that's good news.
Yes.
Hannah, thanks, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us. I'm Gary Libitor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And man, it was tricky travel, especially for us overnight, but things are cleared out. The plows have come through, and now it's dry, right?
Yes, so it is dry. I would just be careful for definitely in neighborhoods, seeing still some snow-covered roads and some areas may be icy because we are starting out in the teens this morning.
So still be careful.
Yes, just be careful. All the highways, though, when I were driving in were fine, and we are going to be dry through Thanksgiving. So let's take a look now at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, seeing a few light snow showers still passing through, but looking over Lake Ontario, no new lake effect snow bands have formed. So once this moves through, we are going to be all dried out for today. So here's a look at some of the reports I received from Skywatchers this morning, along with train spotters. We have Westdale 18 inches, Holland Patton 8 inches, White Sparrow, Old Forge 7.5, Smith Hill and Utica had 5 inches, and then that bottom one should say Clinton. Clinton received 2 inches. So it looks like the heaviest of snow did fall in the northern part of Oneida County, specifically the northwestern part of Oneida County. And we are starting off very, very cold this morning, according to our Skywatchers. Just 12 degrees in Old Forge, 19 degrees in New Hartford, and looking to the south, we have 15 degrees in Cooperstown, Edmiston, and 17 degrees in Hartwick and West Lawrence. So definitely things could have iced over. Watch out for black ice when traveling this morning. But for the rest of today, we will dry out, see the sun. We will reach the mid to upper 30s, but it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler with that wind outside. And then we'll be taking a look at the Thanksgiving forecast and the travel holiday week coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. And as Hannah mentioned, the lake effect snowstorm that blew through the Mohawk Valley and pummeled parts of the area with snow is moving out, but it left a lot of us with some snow to clean up today. News Channel 2's Ben Kinney has a wrap-up of the snow from yesterday.
It started out around 11:30 this morning. The first band of lake effect snow dropped just a dusting on area roads. This was the view on the north-south arterial highway just after the snow had started. By early afternoon, visibility was reduced to near zero. And then, just as soon as it started, it stopped for a short time before returning with a vengeance. This was the scene on Route 12 in Barneveld by 3 o'clock. Route 12 completely snow-covered. The heavy snow and high winds led to multiple accidents. 2 people had to be cut out of this car after it rolled into a telephone pole on Oneida Street in Utica just after 4:30. The extent of their injuries is not known. Traffic on Route 8 was brought to a halt for hours just outside of Coldbrook in Herkimer County after a tractor-trailer jackknifed. The Herkimer County 911 Center issuing a statement saying, if you don't have to travel, don't be on the roads.
Our own Ben Kinney reporting from yesterday. Well, a brand new...
Welcome back. Yesterday and last night, we did see the highest totals in the northwestern part of Oneida County. Even we had Lee Center at 23 inches. Some areas did get close to 2 feet of snow. So this morning, I got reports from Skywatchers, train spotters. Westdale, we had 18 inches. Holland Patton, 8 inches. Old Forge, White Sparrow, 7.5 inches. Up here on top of Smith Hill and Utica, we had 5 inches. And then just about 2 inches in Clinton. So heading out the door this morning, I would just be careful driving over untreated surfaces. There may still be some snowy roadways and possibly some icy spots. We are going to clear out in the afternoon, and even tonight, once we drop below freezing, there still could be some icy spots outside from wet roadways icing over. For tomorrow, though, we are going to be real dry for the rest of tomorrow through Thursday, and it is gradually going to start getting warmer as well. So here's our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, still see some snow showers move through, especially north. So once that does clear out, which looks to be later on this morning, we will be completely dry today and for most of the week, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Pfizer's COVID-19 bivalent booster, which
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out with just a few light snow showers still north this morning, but we are going to dry out today and remain dry through Thanksgiving. Let's take a look now at the CAVI tower camera overlooking the Mohawk Valley. At this point, we are tracking extra cloud cover this morning, but we can start to see the sun rise and snow-covered roadways, especially up here on top of Smith Hill. So just be careful when driving. We are also very cold to start in the teens, so some areas may be a little bit icy. So as you are heading out the door this morning, definitely grab the ice scraper and the brush. Probably seeing some snow on the car windshields. Very, very cold. We are in the teens, so definitely grab that coat, the hat, the gloves. We will reach the upper 30s today, but it is going to be breezy, feeling about 10 degrees cooler. Definitely grab those snow boots and maybe give yourself a little bit extra time. I would say the neighborhoods are worse than the highways. The highways were fine when I was driving in, but some neighborhoods were still a little bit snowy and there could be some icy spots. So this morning, Nala can clearly see her neighbors. We are tracking dry conditions for most of us at this point. Today we are featuring holly and honey. The only thing is that there could be some icy and snowy spots on the roadways, especially in neighborhoods. For the evening commute, there could also be slippery roads because we will quickly fall below freezing, and that could be seeing some more black ice tonight as you are commuting. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, at this point we are mostly dry in the Mohawk Valley and south. Few extra snow showers lingering up north, but overlooking Lake Ontario, no new lake effect snow bands are forming, so we will dry out today, be a little bit breezy, a little bit cold, and we will really start to warm up towards the end of the week. So by Thanksgiving, even Friday, we will be in the upper 40s for the high temperature. So our next chance for precipitation looks to be Friday afternoon, but at this point, since it is very warm, it will be rain. So today on our Skycast, we will start out very, very cold. We will reach the mid-30s around noon, and we will be in the upper 30s for the high temperature. It is going to be breezy, so it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature with a little bit extra cloud cover today. So just after dinner, there is the possibility to see a few snow flurries forming, especially north of the Mohawk Valley, but otherwise we do remain dry tonight and dry tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies once again. So just around noon tomorrow, we will be right near 40 degrees, and for the evening commute tomorrow, same thing, 40 degrees for the high temperature tomorrow. Heading into Wednesday, because I know that is a big travel day, especially for Thanksgiving. We will start out right around 30 degrees. We will be dry for the whole day on Wednesday. At noon, we will be just near 40 degrees and in the low 40s for the high temperature. So Wednesday is a great travel day. We look dry, just seeing a little bit extra cloud cover. So for the rest of today, expect a few peaks of sunshine. We are going to be dry. It's going to feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature. And tonight, a few snow flurries are possible, and we fall into the upper 20s. But for today through Thursday, we remain dry for all of these days, gradually warming up as well to the upper 40s by Thanksgiving and Friday. Our next chance of precipitation looks to be Friday afternoon, but at this point, it looks to be rain at this time. That looks to linger into Saturday, Gary.
So a very chilly morning as kids get to the bus stop.
Yes, it is chilly, and there is a possibility of some ice outside because of how cold it is.
And especially those local roads still pretty well snow covered.
Yes.
Hannah, thank you. The time now is 6:51.
From where the news comes first, this is News Channel 2 at 7 a.m. on CW11.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Lubitor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And we are going to get to your Storm Tracker 2 forecast in just a minute. First, let's check out this video right here. You're going to need your shovels this morning. There is a fresh coating of snow on the ground all over the region, and it looked like this most of the night. This was shot last night on Grace Road here in Deerfield, heading up to our studios here on the top of Smith Hill. The snow was coming down so fast in spots that plows couldn't keep up. And while we saw nothing like the folks in Buffalo and Watertown have been seeing over the past several days, we still saw enough to make it a bit of a nuisance. The question now, is it over?
Yes, so at this point we do dry out today and we remain dry through Thanksgiving, and we warm up this week, so our next chance of precipitation is Friday and it looks to be rain.
So the worst is behind us.
Yes, the worst is behind us. Enough time for me to get my snow tires on for the next round. So let's take a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, this lake effect snow band still lingering. It is moving up north though, and we see no new bands are forming over Lake Ontario. So we will be dry today, and we did see the heaviest of snow in the northern part of Oneida County, the northwestern part specifically. Westdale at 18 inches, Holland Patton at 8 inches, White Sparrow, Old Forge 7.5 inches. Up here on top of Smith Hill, which is in Utica, 5 inches, and Clinton just about 2 inches of snow. So a very big difference. Some areas did see close to 2 feet, and other areas just an inch or a dusting. But we are starting out very chilly according to our sky watchers. 12 degrees in Old Forge, 19 degrees in New Hartford. And looking to the south, still in the teens. We have 13 degrees in Milford and Lawrence, 17 degrees in Hartwick and West Lawrence. So I would just be careful this morning when driving, because any areas that did go untreated definitely iced over a little bit. So just be careful for icy spots along with snow-covered roadways, especially in neighborhoods at this point. Most of the highways look fine. As for today, though, we will be seeing a few weeks of sunshine. We will reach the upper 30s, but it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler because it is going to be a little bit breezy. And we'll be talking a little bit more about the travel forecast for Wednesday coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Let's get right to it now. A Utica area man is recovering after... Well, as you heard, Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans mentioned all throughout the morning, the lake effect snowstorm system that blew through the Mohawk Valley pummeled parts of the area with snow, and it left us with some snow to clean up today. News Channel 2's Ben Kinney was out in the worst of it on Sunday and filed this report.
It started out around 11:30 this morning. The first band of lake effect snow dropped just a dusting on area roads. This was the view on the north-south arterial highway just after the snow had started. By early afternoon, visibility was reduced to near zero. And then, just as soon as it started, it stopped for a short time before returning with a vengeance. This was the scene on Route 12 in Barneveld by 3 o'clock. Route 12 completely snow-covered. The heavy snow and high winds led to multiple accidents. 2 people had to be cut out of this car after it rolled into a telephone pole on Oneida Street in Utica just after 4:30. The extent of their injuries is not known. Traffic on Route 8 was brought to a halt for hours just outside of Coldbrook in Herkimer County after a tractor-trailer jackknifed. The Herkimer County 911 Center issuing a statement saying, if you don't have to travel, don't be on the roads.
News Channel 2's Ben Kinney reporting. Well, a brand new event.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out with cloudy skies. It is very, very cold to start, but we are going to be dry today and remain dry through Thanksgiving. Let's take a look now at the CAVI tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. Snowy starts as well, so just be careful when driving since it is so cold this morning. Some areas could have iced over, so heading out the door, I would definitely grab the ice scraper and brush for your car. Most of us did see snow last night along with their coat, maybe even hat and gloves. Temperatures are in the teens this morning. Definitely the snow boots, and maybe give yourself a little extra time to drive, especially through neighborhoods is where the problems are going to be with untreated surfaces, some snowy spots, some icy spots, but all the highways when I were driving in were fine. In the evening, there also may still be some icy spots, but at that point, we are going to be dry for most of today, so it should be fine for the evening commute. We are tracking mostly dry conditions on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Just this light snow shower up north, still kind of moving through, but once that moves through, no new bands forming Lake Ontario. We are going to be dry for today, but it is just going to be windy coming from the south, so it is going to feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature outside, with highs reaching the upper 30s and feels like temperatures in the upper 20s. But we really start to warm up towards the end of the week. For Thanksgiving and Friday, we will already be in the upper 40s, so very, very warm. We look to remain dry through Thanksgiving as well, so nice days for travel. Our next chance for precipitation looks to be Friday later in the day, and at this point it looks to be rain because we will be in the 40s. So for today, expect to warm up a little bit. We will reach the mid-30s around noon, and then we will be in the upper 30s for the high temperature. A little extra cloud cover for the commute home, but just be careful for some icy spots. Around dinner time, we will start to drop into the mid-30s again, and overnight just in the upper 20s, but a few snow flurries are possible. We look to remain dry through tomorrow, seeing extra cloud cover once again. Temperatures in the upper 30s around noon and reaching the low 40s for the high temperature for tomorrow. Heading into Wednesday, because that is the biggest travel day for Thanksgiving, we will be dry, starting out right around 30 degrees in the morning. Then we will reach the upper 30s right near 40 for the high temperature. And for the whole day on Wednesday, we look to be dry, just seeing a little extra cloud cover, but overall a nice day for traveling. So for today, expect to dry out. We will feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature because it is going to be windy. As for tonight, a few snow flurries are possible overnight, but no real accumulation. We do look to remain dry through Thanksgiving, getting warmer as well, reaching the upper 40s by the end of the week. The next chance for precipitation looks to be Friday afternoon, but at this point it looks to be rain, and that will linger a little bit into Saturday.
Joining us, I'm Gary Libator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And let's check this out right here. This is the scene up in Boonville. They received more than a foot of snow.
Yes, Boonville got 16 inches. Some areas, even like Lee Center, were just shy of a foot or of 2 feet.
Wow.
So a lot of areas, especially in northwestern part of Oneida County, did see a lot of snow yesterday.
We're sheltered down here.
Yes, we only got 5 inches on top of Smith Hill. Other areas, even just a dusting.
Yeah.
So it was just a concentrated lake effect snow event. We are dry today, though. So let's take a look now at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, tracking dry conditions now. We're not really expecting any more snow for the rest of the week, and we are going to warm up into the 40s by the end of the week. So when we see our next precipitation again, it does look to be just rain. Right now, we are measuring 32 degrees at the Griffith Park Airport in Rome, but it is breezy outside today, so it actually feels like 25 degrees. So make sure you bundle up if you are going outside. Cold and breezy weather for today, but the good news is we warm up into the 40s by the end of the week. We are going to be in the upper 40s even for Thanksgiving, and it is going to remain dry, so especially if you are traveling on Wednesday, dry for that. Same thing for Thursday. Our next chance of rain looks to be Friday. So for today, expect a mix of clouds and sun. Highs are going to be in the upper 30s, but it is going to be breezy, and I will be talking a little bit more about the Thanksgiving forecast coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. And again, this was the scene very early this morning up in Boonville as about 16 inches of snow fell in this latest lake effect system. And we caught up with some folks later this morning up there who say this is what they expect this time of year. In fact, they're not surprised. They actually expected this before November 21st.
Not really, no. Matter of fact, I thought it was long overdue. I figured we'd probably have something by at least Halloween or something, but nope.
Well, they can sure enjoy it now up there. Again, parts of northern Oneida County and Lewis County have seen well over a foot of snow, so they will be digging out today. Utica police are continuing.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are tracking dry conditions as of now, and we are going to be seeing a few peaks of sunshine today, but it is pretty cold outside. So let's take a look now at our Cavvy Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. As you can see, a lot of snow on the ground up here on top of Smith Hill. We are finally seeing a few peaks of sunshine. Partly cloudy skies will take over for today, but it is breezy, so it is feeling almost 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature outside. So Nala can clearly see her neighbors now. No more snow is expected for this week. Holly and honey are featured today. And if you are driving around right now at this lunch hour, some slush may be possible as snow on the roadways is starting to melt because most of us are above freezing and we are seeing the sun. And even for the evening commute, we are going to be drying out. I would just say if you are driving tonight, be careful of any areas of black ice because we will fall below freezing. So here's a look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, tracking dry conditions at this point. point, but once again, a stronger breeze coming out of the south, and that's making it feel almost 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature. And according to our sky watchers, most of us are in the 30s, but we have Old Forge just at 24 degrees still. 30 degrees in Cooperstown, 32 degrees in Otsego, and 34 degrees in Clinton. But it is breezy, so I would definitely make sure to bundle up if I am going to spend time outside. But most of this week is going to be dry. We are really going to start to warm up into the 40s. And taking a look at our Thanksgiving forecast, in the morning, just around 30 degrees, some sun. It does look to be cloudy on Thanksgiving, though, but the good thing is it will be dry, and it is going to get pretty warm, especially for the end of November. Highs are going to be in the mid-40s for Thanksgiving. So let's take a look at our skycast. As for today, we are going to reach the upper 30s for the high temperature. So just around dinner time, we will be in the mid to upper 30s. Tonight, a few flurries are actually possible north of the Mohawk Valley, but otherwise we are mostly dry, seeing mostly cloudy skies, and we do start off tomorrow just around freezing at that point. But for the day tomorrow, we will be dry once again with highs just near 40. Heading into Wednesday, we will warm up a little bit more, and I know Wednesday is a big travel day for Thanksgiving, so it does look okay for that. Looks dry, seeing a little bit extra cloud cover, and high temperatures in the low 40s. So for the rest of today, it's going to be breezy and cold. Our highs are in the upper 30s, but it is going to feel a little bit cooler than that with that breeze. And tonight, a few flurries are possible with overnight lows in the 20s, not as cool as last night. So through Thursday, we will be dry, seeing more clouds than sun, but Thanksgiving travel shouldn't be a problem. Our next chance for precipitation is Friday later in the day, and since it is going to be warm, it looks to be rain that will linger into Saturday, Gary.
So it looks like nice travel before Thanksgiving and then after Thanksgiving.
Yes, it is going to be nice, and the good thing is we're not going to be seeing snow.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Hannah, thank you. Buffalo still under a thick blanket of snow after that historic storm system pummeled western New York most of the weekend. It's being blamed for at least 3 deaths, with some areas getting more than 6.5 feet of snow. NBC's Jesse Kirsch has been riding out the storm all weekend and joins us now from Buffalo with the latest.
New York's governor says around 280 people have had to be rescued, and cleanup here is far from over. Look at how much snow has already been plowed aside and is piling up here in downtown Buffalo. And this is really just a fraction of what we've seen across a region that has been hit hard throughout the weekend. We are looking at the aftermath of the single highest 24-hour snowfall event in New York State history. The previous record was set in 1966. Unfortunately, officials here in New York say 2 people have died in the aftermath of cardiac events tied to cleanup. So officials have been stressing that people should not overexert themselves. A 3rd person, according to officials in Indiana, died after his plow rolled over. There is still a threat out there. Officials also reminding people to keep an eye out for the possibility of a roof collapse. So it is important to be getting snow off of those roofs. Traffic is starting to move more here. We're noticing, though, some people are still under travel bans. And at this point, we are just days away from the Thanksgiving holiday. Some people still not sure if they're going to be able to go where they planned to celebrate the holiday. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News, Buffalo.
Jesse, thank you. And welcome back. A look once again at the scene today up in Boonville. Check that out, boy, right on Main Street. They got hammered.
Yes, so Boonville got about 16 inches of snow. A lot of places almost got 2 feet, like Lee Center got 23 inches. So a lot of snow up in the northwestern part of Oneida County.
Yeah, we have it easy here so far.
Yes, we had Smith Hill had 5 inches. Where I live was just an inch in New Hartford. So yeah, like mostly of it was concentrated up in northern Oneida County.
Yeah, as usual.
Yes, but we are going to be dry today. We look dry through the week. So let's take a look now at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, dry, and we will remain dry through Thanksgiving, so it looks to be a nice week. We are just going to be a little bit chilly today. We are measuring 32 degrees at the Grivers Park Airport in Rome, but it feels like 25 degrees because of that breeze coming out of the south. So today, cold and breezy with highs just in the mid-30s. We look to warm up, though, like through Thanksgiving. We will start to see temperatures in the 40s this week, and towards the end of the week, we will be in the upper 40s. It is also going to remain dry through Thanksgiving, so it should be nice travel weather, especially on Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. So for today, we are tracking a mix of sun and clouds, breezy conditions, and it is a little bit cold. I will be talking a little bit more about the Thanksgiving forecast coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. We are following some breaking news this noon. Utica police have made an arrest in Sunday morning's homicide on Whitesboro Street.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are tracking dry conditions starting today that will last through Thanksgiving, and we will really start to warm up this week. So let's take a look now at the Cavie Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. A mix of sun and clouds today, but it is going to be cold and breezy, so we'll feel a little bit cooler even than the actual temperature outside. So this afternoon, Nala can clearly see her neighbors. Today's featured cats are Honey and Holly. But if you are driving around for this noon commute, just be careful of some slush on the roadways. By the evening, we should be fine, dried out. A lot of snow on the roadways should have melted, but at that point, definitely be careful of some black ice because we do fall below freezing. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, we are tracking dry conditions for today. We are all dried out from lake effect snow we did see yesterday and last night. We are just seeing a little bit of a breeze coming in from the south. So according to our Skywatcher, it's still a bit chilly, just 24 degrees in Old Forge, 34 degrees in Clinton, and 31 degrees in Cassville. It does feel about 7 to 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature, but we really are going to warm up this week. So we will reach the 40s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on Thanksgiving it does look dry, just around 30 degrees in the morning and high temperatures in the mid 40s for the afternoon. So Thanksgiving should be fine, and a couple of good travel days coming up as well, especially on Wednesday. It does look dry. So on our Skycast for the rest of today, we will reach the upper 30s for the high temperature, and around dinner time a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the mid 30s. Tonight a few snow flurries are actually possible north, but otherwise we still look mostly dry. Overnight lows in the 20s, and tomorrow looks to be more clouds and sun once again, but high temperatures will be in the low 40s. Heading into Wednesday, the biggest travel day for this holiday coming up, we start out just around 30 degrees, a mix of sun and clouds. A little extra cloud cover comes in, but we look dry for the day on Wednesday, and same thing for Thursday. We look dry for the day on Thursday. So for today, expect highs in the upper 30s, but it is going to feel a little bit cooler because it is breezy. And as for tonight, a few flurries are possible, but we do look mostly dry with lows in the 20s. So it is looking to remain dry through Thanksgiving. Our next chance for precipitation is going to be later in the day on Friday, but since it is going to be a bit warmer, the precipitation looks to be rain, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Thanksgiving week is upon us. It is the gateway for family time.
Digging out from that major snowstorm.
That's right. It was enough snow to close the Buffalo airport and move the Bills game to a different stadium. 6.5 feet of snow. The single highest 24-hour snowfall event in New York State history. The previous record was set in 1966. Governor Hochul says nearly 300 people from Western New York had to be rescued in this event.
So let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Our weather, quiet compared to all of that.
Yeah, and things are going to continue to be pretty quiet here. We're going to melt some of this snow that we picked up throughout this week as temperatures climb above freezing. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, all is quiet in central New York. Very different compared to this time yesterday when we were dealing with that lake effect snow. Our current temperature 35 degrees with temperatures climbing above freezing today and falling below freezing tonight. We do have to be mindful of the possibility of patchy black ice on untreated surfaces. This will be pretty common throughout this week as we climb above freezing during the day and fall below freezing at night. And that's all it takes to get some icy spots out there. Again, not a bad idea to throw some sand or some salt on driveways, sidewalks to keep traction. Partly cloudy this evening, temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s. We are tracking some nice weather heading into Thanksgiving. Look at that forecast is coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A Sequoia man who...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are continuing to track some pretty quiet weather just in time for the big traveling week. If you're heading out to do some traveling, especially Wednesday, the weather should be in decent shape, and even Thanksgiving looks nice. Let's take a live look outside. This is our Utica National Tower Cam overlooking Cooperstown. The weather is looking quiet, and the winds, which have been feeling pretty chilly today, are starting to subside. and things are looking quiet tonight. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar is looking dry across all of central New York this evening. We climbed above freezing today, and we are still above freezing in most areas. Whitesboro 36, Stoughville 35, Little Falls 35, across Southern Valleys, Sherburne 34, Cooperstown 36, and Hamilton with 36 degrees. The weather looks pretty quiet this evening. If you're taking the dog out for a walk, temperatures will fall below freezing, so just be mindful there could be some slippery spots on untreated surfaces. Some patchy black ice is possible as we do fall below freezing tonight. Tonight's featured dog is Nick from Marcy. And if you want to be part of this, send your dog photos to Bill's Buddies on Facebook. This is brought to you by Staffworks. Let's check out the temperature trend. We are starting to warm up. Winter is not settling in just yet. This week, we are seeing a pattern change. We're getting away from the cold and snowy conditions of last week, and temperatures this week will climb above freezing. Tuesday and Wednesday will climb well above freezing heading into Thanksgiving and beyond. And the next weather maker later this week is likely going to bring rainfall across central New York. So the snow that is on the ground will be melting as we head throughout the course of this week. So we look at the radar and satellite image, it's pretty quiet weather across the Northeast. There's a very weak cold front that slides through as we head into tomorrow. This could produce a flurry to the north overnight, and it's going to keep the clouds around as we head throughout the day tomorrow. We're mostly cloudy tomorrow. We start out with temperatures in the low 30s, and the weather doesn't change very much in the Mohawk Valley throughout the day. It's mostly cloudy. We're in the low 30s. Some sunshine is possible south of Route 20. The weather remains mostly cloudy heading into tomorrow night. We'll fall below freezing. And then Wednesday, 7 a.m., we'll see some breaks of sunshine early in the day, but then the clouds will settle back in with temperatures in the low 40s across the area. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, down to 22. Tomorrow, again, mostly cloudy. We're above freezing. High of 40. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The turkey's starting to run. He's getting the message. We're looking at some rain here as we head into the weekend. Temperatures will be above freezing, which is a lot warmer. It's going to feel a lot warmer compared to what we've been dealing with here over the past several days.
We could use it.
Yeah, a little bit of a break.
That turkey does need to run because he's not one of the chosen two.
That's right.
We're going to explain. See, the holiday season is underway at the White House, and President Biden hosted
Hardest, tracking the snowfall to date. And,
yes.
you know, we've really had so much lake effect. This is wide-ranging, depending on where you live.
Yeah, for sure. For the city of Utica, we've had 4 days this month with snowfall. And I just want to show you this to remind everybody that it's very common and it's expected to get snowfall this time of the year. We don't usually get a lot in Utica. So far to date, 6.5 inches. The average for today's date, 4.3 inches. So we are running a very small surplus, but with no snow in the future, we'll lose a little bit of ground here. And of course, the numbers vary by location. Yesterday, we saw quite a bit of snow north of the Mohawk Valley, over a foot. In areas like Rome, Forestport, Remsen, Point Rock, some places along the Tug Hill picked up about 1.5 feet of snowfall. And again, we've seen this would be our second lake effect event we've had so far this season. Of course, we're going to have more to come, just not anytime soon. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things are looking quiet. Be mindful of some patchy black ice this evening as temperatures fall below freezing over the next few hours. We're tracking some warmer weather heading into Thanksgiving. I'm going to have a look at that travel forecast coming up. Back over to you.
Bill, thank you. During the latest lake effect snow dump, Boonville has seen almost 16 inches of snow. This was the scene very early this morning in that area. We caught up with some folks out that way who say they aren't surprised by the amount of snow, but rather shocked that they are just seeing it now.
Not really, no. As a matter of fact, I thought it was long overdue. I figured we'd probably have something by at least Halloween or something, but...
Folks all over parts of northern Oneida County and Lewis County found themselves out with shovels, snow blowers, thanks to the over 12 inches of snow dumped in the area.
And the snow is sure to bring Santa back to Old Forge.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A generally pleasant day today. We're going to break from the snow, and temperatures climbed above freezing. Generally quiet evening across central New York. This is a live look outside from our Cat Tower Cam, we're looking the city of Utica. Again, dry across the board. Just be careful if you're heading out tonight on untreated surfaces because we have this setup where temperatures were above freezing today. We saw melting snow and will fall below freezing as we head into tonight. It does set the stage for some slippery spots on untreated surfaces like driveways and sidewalks. Something to be mindful of tonight. Beautiful sunrise. This picture taken from Jerry in Schuyler. We also had a really nice sunset in the same day. That's pretty uncommon. And you can thank the high clouds for that. This picture from Mary in Marcy. And we are tracking some pretty nice weather here over the next couple of days. In fact, we're going to take a look at Wednesday. Wednesday, of course, a very big travel day as folks get ready for Thanksgiving. We're looking at sunshine across central and upstate New York, especially south of the Mohawk Valley. Cloud cover north, temperatures will be in the mid-40s. A very decent travel day is expected Wednesday, which is something we aren't always given this time of the year. Sky watchers checking in with temperatures in the 30s and 20s. A little bit colder north of the valley. Boonville 26, West Lyon 27, Deerfield 37 degrees, Clinton 34. Across southern valleys, temperatures in the 30s, Cooperstown 32, Richfield 34, and Helen and Cassville checking in with 32 degrees. We have a weak cold front that will be moving in tonight, and that could spark a brief snow shower, especially north of the valley. The weather in general stays pretty quiet here for the next several days. Tonight, we're mostly cloudy. Overnight lows drop down into the 20s. We start out tomorrow with cloud cover, and the clouds look to be very stubborn tomorrow. It's mostly cloudy throughout the day. Temperatures climb into the mid-30s. Tomorrow night, the weather remains partly cloudy, and as we head into Wednesday, again, we're looking for more cloud cover, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures on Wednesday afternoon climb above freezing. And that'll be the case for the next several days. It'll be above freezing during the day, below freezing at night. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 22. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Temperatures climb into the upper 30s to near 40. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks quiet heading into Thanksgiving. We will slowly warm up. We'll be in the mid-40s on Thanksgiving Day, which will feel pretty nice. Friday, rain returns to central New York as a weather system moves to our west. Temperatures look to stay in the 40s over the weekend with more rain chances on Saturday and Sunday, followed by some lake effect snow showers Monday with highs in the upper 30s. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we're tracking how the winds change as we head into the next several days. Stay with us.
Weather Center for a first look at the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
A generally pleasant day today. The winds picking up this evening ahead of a cold front, but the weather is going to stay pretty quiet over the next several days. Let's take a live look outside. Again, looking dry this evening. If you are traveling, the weather is looking decent. We picked up some snowfall. Season snowfall for Utica to date is 6.5 inches. We picked up 3.5 yesterday from the lake effect snow, and we are running slightly above average, but it's really important to point out that it's very common to get snow this time of the year, to get accumulating snow. Heavy lake effect snow fell yesterday and early this morning. This is a look at some snowfall totals with higher numbers expected to fall north of the Mohawk Valley. We saw between about a foot to a foot and a half of snow in central and northern Oneida County. Current temperature is 37 degrees, and again, that south-southwest wind picking up a little bit. Again, as a weak cold front arrives tonight, the weather looks dry. We're partly cloudy. Temperatures will settle back to or below freezing. We are tracking the weather heading into the Thanksgiving holiday, and that's coming out. Back over to you.
Bill, thank you. A Sequoian man who sexually abused.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking some mild and generally pleasant weather as we head into Thanksgiving. Let's take a live look outside. This is our Cat Tower Cam. Notice it's starting to shake a bit. The winds have picked up noticeably here over the past hour. This is all ahead of a cold front, a southwesterly wind starting to increase. That'll be around here for this evening and into early tonight. Once the front moves through, the winds will subside, and we're looking at generally quiet weather. Very little precipitation with this front. In fact, it is expected to generally be dry, aside from maybe a flurry north of the Mohawk Valley. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet. Beautiful sunrise this morning. This picture from Jerry in Schuyler. some snow up in this area. We also had a beautiful sunset. This picture from Mary in Marcy. It's unusual to have a beautiful sunrise and a sunset in the same day, but today was one of those days. You can thank the different types of clouds that we saw here throughout the afternoon. And again, windy this evening, but the winds will subside tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. The winds will be picking up again as we head into Friday and into the weekend. If you're traveling on Wednesday, the weather looks pretty decent across the Northeast. There will be a lot more sunshine south of central New York. In fact, temperatures will be close to 50 in the lower Hudson Valley. Our weather locally looking mostly cloudy and generally dry. Temperatures will be above freezing here over the next several days. Temperatures this evening, Old Forge 30 degrees, Clinton 34. Across southern valleys, Cassville 32, Edmonston 34, and Morris checking in with 35 degrees. A very weak cold front drops in from the north tonight. Not much of a weather maker here. Again, maybe a flurry, very little change in temperature tomorrow. What it will do, though, is it will keep the clouds sticking around over the next 24 hours. Again, tonight, looking at mostly cloudy skies, a flurry is possible north. Overnight lows will drop below freezing, so any untreated surfaces could turn icy tonight. We saw some melting snow today. Heading into tomorrow, temperatures do climb above freezing. It is mainly cloudy across the area, noticeably more in the way of sunshine south of the Mohawk Valley, but again, I think it's mainly cloudy in and north of the valley. The weather remains dry tomorrow night. The weather remains dry on Wednesday, looking warmer on Wednesday with high temperatures climbing into the low 40s. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 22 tomorrow. A generally pleasant day, mostly cloudy. Temperatures climb above freezing, a high close to 40. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Thanksgiving looks mild, at least compared to the past several days. Temperatures climb into the mid-40s. Our next weather maker is rain, I should say. Temperatures will be in the 40s heading into the weekend with our next chance of snow on Monday of next week. Back over to you.
All right, Bill, thanks. We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Ilion, a massive...
Time now for a first look at the forecast. We bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. It's kind of a breathe. We just go, oh.
Yeah.
We're done with the snow for a little while, and beautiful sunset.
Yeah, this is great. This looks like the middle of winter here. This picture taken by Kristen. Beautiful sunset. We had a beautiful sunrise, too. The weather is looking very nice. As we look at the temperatures this evening, it's still pretty warm. The wind is actually keeping temperatures from falling. A little unexpected there. We're still 38 degrees, which is also the warmest we've been today. And again, we can thank the wind for that. As you head into tonight, the winds will be subsiding. That's going to help temperatures fall. But again, still above freezing at this hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. We're down to 29 degrees. We're tracking a very quiet stretch of weather over the next couple of days. Traveling should be pretty decent as well. We're taking a look at the forecast, the temperature trends as we head into Thanksgiving, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A major battle.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A breezy night across central New York as a weak cold front approaches. Things are looking quiet outside. This is a live look at our CATV tower cam. To the north we go. We have a couple of flurries taking place north of Old Forge. Flurry is possible tonight as this front rolls through. The weather is going to stay dry and the winds will be backing off. Pretty windy evening, but things are going to quiet down tonight. And the winds will be light tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. The winds are back as we look ahead. Our next weather maker will be arriving later this week. Likely on Friday. That looks to bring us rain along with some wind, and the weather turns unsettled for the weekend. Until then, the weather looks nice. If you're traveling on Wednesday across upstate New York, across the Northeast, calling for temperatures above freezing will be in the 40s. There will be noticeably more cloud cover in and north of the Mohawk Valley compared to south. And those warmer temperatures will be sticking around. Looking at highs in the 40s here for the majority of the week. In fact, it'll warm up to the upper 40s as we head into the weekend. Now, over the next couple of days, as we climb above freezing and fall below freezing at night, that sets the stage for some patchy black ice. It's just something to keep in mind after getting some snowfall. Any melting snow has the chance to freeze on untreated surfaces Look for that to be most prevalent in the morning time. And again, not a bad idea to throw down some salt or sand on the driveway or sidewalks to help prevent that from happening. So you look at the radar and satellite image. Again, that weak cold front drops in from the north as we get into tonight, producing a couple of flurries out there. It's going to keep the clouds around throughout the day tomorrow. And we're looking at overcast skies throughout the majority of the day. From the beginning to the end, temperatures climb into the upper 30s as we head into the afternoon. 5 p.m. looking dry. Tomorrow night, the weather looks partly cloudy. We're expecting more clouds to linger into Wednesday, especially in and north of the Mohawk Valley. These are lake effect clouds. Temperatures Wednesday afternoon climb into the upper 30s to near 40. Tonight, mostly cloudy, down to 29. Tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day, but again, it's dry and just a light breeze. High temperature of 40, so some melting snow. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Yeah, you better run, Turkey. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s as we head into Thursday afternoon. Some rain looks to return as we head into the weekend. Rain for a change. So I think we're going to melt a lot of that snow, even where it piled up north of the Mohawk Valley. We're going to lose a lot of it this week.
He's running better than I am right now.
He knows it's coming.
Of course, everybody runs better than I do right now. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, this could time now for a first look at the forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis, and you know what? This is just what we needed. A beautiful sunset after too many days of early snow.
Yeah, it's been a very busy week last week. A beautiful picture. This was taken this afternoon, or sunset now 4:30. I know. A beautiful picture here, though. Believe it or not, we don't really lose too much daylight here at the end of the day. Our sunset time, we only lose 7 more minutes between now and the winter solstice. So a little bit of good news there, I guess. I guess it depends on how you see it. Current temperature 38 degrees. That's actually pretty mild. That's the warmest we've been all day, and the reason why is the wind. The wind has been consistent this evening, and it's actually picked up this evening from the west-southwest ahead of a cold front. That cold front is going to move into the region tonight. Not a lot of weather with it, but it will keep the temperatures from falling. We're only down into the upper 20s tonight. It's a lot warmer than last night. We're tracking some mild weather heading into Thanksgiving. We're also looking at traveling conditions across upstate New York on Wednesday. I know that's a big travel day. Look at that forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A major battle is
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look outside. Our Cabby Tower Cam is looking a little bit less windy. We were watching this tower cam bounce around throughout the course of this evening. It's settled down a little bit now. We had wind here over the past couple of hours in advance of a cold front that is moving in from the north. We can take a look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This is only bringing just a few flurries to the north country, Old Forge into Lewis County, seeing just a few flurries. No accumulation is expected, and that front really doesn't bring much cold air with it. What it will bring are the clouds. The winds will be diminishing tonight, and the winds are not going to be something we'll deal with here for the next couple of days. Looking ahead, next weather maker on Friday will bring more in the way of wind, along with some rain. Traveling conditions look great over the next couple of days. The big travel day Wednesday across the Northeast, we're looking at dry conditions. Temperatures will be above freezing. There won't be any lake effect precipitation. In fact, we'll see some sunshine, especially if you're heading south. And again, really not a bad day here, looking at temperatures in the 40s to low 50s, especially across downstate New York. Temperatures will remain above freezing over the next several days. We'll look at high temperatures, be in the low 40s tomorrow and Wednesday, and it gets even warmer with highs in the mid to upper 40s heading into the weekend. With temperatures being above freezing during the day, they also fall below freezing at night, at least for the next couple of nights. We want to be mindful of, with melting snow, we could be seeing some patchy black ice on untreated surfaces overnight, especially in the morning time. Just be aware of that. Driveways, sidewalks could be slippery, especially where we've seen some of that heavier snowfall over the weekend. As we look at the radar and satellite image, again, to the north we go. Again, that cold front continuing to move in, producing just a couple of flurries again north of the valley tonight. The clouds linger around tomorrow. Looking at temperatures starting out in the upper 20s. We'll make it into the mid 30s here at lunchtime. Again, mostly cloudy skies. May get some breaks in the overcast south of the Mohawk Valley as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures again do climb above freezing. The lake effect clouds linger as we head into tomorrow night, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. You might even see a sprinkle or a flurry from them heading into Wednesday. Otherwise, a pretty quiet day with temperatures once again above freezing, at least during the daytime. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, down to 29. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and generally pleasant. Temperatures near 40 degrees. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. There he goes. Getting his workout in. Yeah, that's Thanksgiving. We're talking about the turkey on the screen. Temperatures in the upper 40s, and we are looking at some rain as we head into Friday and into the weekend with temperatures in the 40s. Yes, rain. That's actually more normal for November than snow. We do
Believe
get
it or
snow,
not.
but we usually get more rain.
Yeah, we're not used to this snow this early, but
Consecutive
it does happen.
days, yes.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, this